What's up, guys? Iceman Hell. Welcome to Diablo 4. So in this video, I'm going to showcase Nature's Fury on my droid, as opposed to the last key passive that I previewed in my previous video, which is Perfect Storm. Now, Perfect Storm was epic because it allowed for a lot of spirit regeneration, as you were granted one spirit and dealt 15% increased damage when damaging a vulnerable, immobilized, or slowed enemy. So I'm going to be missing out on that now. And I've tweaked my skills a little bit to where I'm immobilizing enemies a little less now, because it's not as essential, because I'm no longer getting spirit from it. And rather, I just chose a couple other things. But here's what I'm going to try out. Nature's Fury. And I think this is going to be a great synergy with a legendary that I just found, and I'll show you in just a minute. Casting an Earth skill has a 20% chance to trigger a free Storm skill of the same category. In addition, casting a Storm skill has a 20% chance to trigger a free Earth skill of the same category. So, a lot to be had here, man. But I did forget to mention, you guys will like the damn video, hit the thumbs up button. This is my Diablo 4 channel. So if you will, subscribe here and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to you who subscribe to this channel and watch the whole damn video. So yeah, you're going to be casting all sorts of skills and shit. And visually speaking, I think this is superior to what I was trying before. Because before I was doing the same thing, only I wasn't casting any Earth skills. I was just regenerating spirit faster. So before I show you the legendary that I think helps out this build, let me just show you what it looks like. Kill some baddies, see if we can find any. Oh my god, it's empty. Okay, here's one. Watch this. See that? An earth spike came out of the ground when I hit him. It's kind of hard to tell against one enemy, and that's just with a basic attack. So now, oh. Well, it was jacked up for a minute. Hopefully that'll be fine. So now I'm going to try Lightning Storm. And it should cast something. Alright, so it takes a minute. Let me showcase this with Cataclysm, because there's a 20% chance that in addition to Cataclysm, I'm going to be casting the Earth skill version, which is Petrify. I don't know much about Petrify. I'd like to explore it more later, but apparently it has a cooldown of about 50 seconds without cooldown gear. Encase all nearby enemies in stone, stunning them for 3.13 seconds. You deal 25% increased critical strike damage to enemies affected by Petrify. Against bosses, the critical strike damage bonus is increased to 50%, and its duration is increased to 6 seconds. Oh my god. That's the first I've seen on the skill tree that affects damage toward bosses. So maybe that would be a good boss build. I don't know. But I really do like Cataclysm. It has a longer cooldown. In my case, it's 57.9 seconds. A massive storm follows you for 10.5 seconds with my modifiers. Twisters knock back enemies, and lightning strikes wildly, dealing 295 damage. And then I have it modified, where lightning strikes from Cataclysm make enemies vulnerable for 2 seconds. And the vulnerable modifier was actually very helpful, of course, with the Perfect Storm key passive. But let me kill a couple things, and we'll see how this plays out. I am generating less spirit, so that might be a bit of a problem. Maybe I need more lucky hit chance. I think that does help this. Oh, these guys are getting all tied up in vines. That's from that key passive. Come on, let's cast some Earth skills. All right, so I'm gonna find a horde, and I'll cast Cataclysm on them. I think it is a pretty cool looking skill. Here's Cataclysm. See that? Tornadoes and storms everywhere. Really like the aesthetic to that. It's going to be a good time as the game progresses, and hopefully I manage to increase its cooldown. And there just went the proc. So that proc was what Lightning Storm procced. So it's going to be the same tier of skills, only in Earth skill. So with Lightning Storm here, it is a core skill. The Earth skill version is Landslide, and that's what we just saw. Crush enemies between 2 pillars of Earth, dealing up to 426 damage. So that's a lot of damage. This is better for single target, and I just realized this now, than Lightning Storm, because I really haven't looked into too many of the Earth skills. But how much spirit does it cost? 15 per strike, and this costs 29 per strike, where it does 426 damage, and this does 227 damage. So it's very similar. It's just about twice the spirit, and it is not doing twice the damage. So as far as I see it, this might actually be better for single target here. I think the Landslide has potential maybe to do some AoE. Even though so does Lightning Strike, just it targets enemies. So if you get a lot of them between the Landslide, it'd probably be a pretty damn good skill. But let me kill a couple more things. Here we go. Here's a good place for Cataclysm. Here's Cataclysm's going. Done with my Lightning Strikes. Run out of mana. Run out of spirit very fast. So far, I'm thinking of reverting back to my previous build. I think is what I'll probably do. And here's the Whoopee. The Whoopie's a good time. Whoopee, when I howl as a little Whoopee. What's the cooldown? 20 seconds? No? 14.48 seconds. Generates 21.8% life and 20 spirit, so it's very helpful. And I howl all the time. You're pretty much always howling, even when you're just running through the world. If you're killing shit on your way, you're going to be running out of spirit, so you're just howling every opportunity you can. So it's a good time. You howl a lot. And I actually found a legendary item that made me do more damage after howling, I think. But I don't really want to use the extract on it, because in a couple levels, the damage on the item or so forth is going to be obsolete. So I've really been saving my aspects. I'm curious if you guys have been saving yours, or have you just been spending them? Because I feel like, similarly to Diablo 3, it's all kind of a waste until you get your max level. So I just don't want to waste the shit. You know, I don't want to waste the materials and the aspects, unless if I'm missing something here. To my understanding, when you extract one from a legendary, you can only use it once. So I'm just a cheap ass. That's how I've always been with many things. I like to huddle up little nuts like a squirrel and just not spend resources when I don't have to. So I've always been a cheap ass, and that applies to Diablo as well. So I did get this aspect, and I would love to use it. Increases critical strike chance by 6.5% from Bloodhowl. In addition, Bloodhowl also affects nearby companions and players for 3 seconds. So, very nice item there, a lot of critical strike. But again, I don't know if I want to use that aspect, and the item, as far as I see it, will be obsolete in a couple levels. So have you guys been doing that? Have you just been wasting your aspect, or maybe not wasting them according to your perspective? Have you been utilizing them just to help you for a couple levels? Because what do you do with that item once you overpower it? Once like every single rare that you find is in the green compared to that item that you modified. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious what you guys have been doing with that, because maybe I'm just being too much of a cheap ass. And maybe I should use that aspect, because that would be very nice to have this on a one-handed or two-handed or weapon or an amulet. Oh my god. In the amulet, the power is increased by 50%. So another like 3 damage. 3% at least. That would be quite nice. But yeah, in this build, I am running out of spirit fast. Here, now let me compare it. Let me go back now to the Perfect Storm one. And then I need to remodify a couple of my skills. I did level up. So I'm going to do that one. And this one as well. Now I can't unlearn it here because I don't have enough to continue this chain. So what I do then when I have one left over like this, and usually you take it from the very bottom if you have to. You take it from there. And then you just learn one of these like this, and then you can unlearn one and learn the other one. And then unlearn this again. So that's how you save a lot of cash or a lot of gold when you're trying to refund. Because if you refund all, it's going to be quite expensive. I don't know how expensive in this case, but it's going to be expensive. It looks like I do have one available point, and I don't really know what I'm going to put it in just yet. I might have to look into this outside of the video. This is pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of things that I could put this point into. And I have brought this up, I think, in my previous video, but it's uncertain to me whether or not it's really worth maxing out your skills, ranking them out, because you don't gain a lot of damage. As you can see here, for example, 227 damage per strike. If I up to skill, it's 250. So you get, like, less than 25 damage. And is that really worth investing into when your overall damage, to my understanding, is 626. It seems to be a very small increase. And I was wondering if they were going to catfish us into that, into thinking that us leveling up our skills are impactful, when really they're not. It's just similar to Diablo 3, where most of it is weapon damage, and the rest is all just an illusion, almost. But I could be off on that. And I don't exactly know what this number means, so that's going to be a determining factor whether or not I'm off on that. But I'm curious if you guys have any insight. But nonetheless, here now is the build that helps me regenerate spirit. So watch how my spirit, look at that, look at how much it maintains now. And then I can Blood Howl. So I'm kind of conflicted. I mean, I love the other passive where you're casting earth skills as well. It's really cool. But the problem is I'm just running out of spirit like crazy. And this is the legendary that I wanted to point out. That is a great synergy with that key passive, Nature's Fury. When you benefit from casting an Earth skill and benefit from casting a Storm skill. And this thing benefits both as well. Casting a Storm skill grants your Earth skills 33% critical strike damage for 4 seconds. And casting an Earth skill increases the critical strike chance of Storm skills by 8.8% for 4 seconds. So right now I only have one Earth skill, and that has a 15-second cooldown on it. It's Earthrend Bulwark. It's the defensive skill. So we'll watch the little, see those little things go up right there. The timer that's benefiting my critical strikes and all that shit until it runs out, until I use the skill again. So. But yeah, I'm having some problems with this guy. I'm getting my ass kicked a little bit. Maybe I do need to use some of those legendary aspects or the Codex of Powers and all that crap, because I haven't used any of them. So it looks like I'm going to have to make some changes here. I'm going to have to make some executive decisions and maybe use some Codexes of Power, because I'm not using a single damn one. And my guy's level 38, so it's probably time to do that. Well, I appreciate you guys coming by. Like the video if you will. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And I'll see you guys with more Diablo 4 content on this channel. Peace be with you.